Sorry. I don't know if anybody's here. If you all can see this. All right, let me go to the other one and turn that off. Sorry, everybody. Things have been crazy. That webcam disconnected, and then when that happened, it made it kind of a pain in the rear. So we're back in the truck top. Oops, sorry, Pumpkin. All right, sweetie, let's go over here. I need to run over to the other stream real quick and tell people sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My cord got stuck on my stove here, and then when I pulled it to get out of the truck, it disconnected. And then YouTube does this awesome thing to where if your webcam disconnects, your live stream's over, which is complete bullshit. So that was kind of frustrating. But let me run over here to the other live stream. I'm going to tell them real quick that it's on the other one. Whoops. Hang on. Let me go into this. Sorry, guys. I feel like an idiot about this. This is okay. Go stream. Here's the link. Sorry, guys. I appreciate you hanging with me here. Let me see here if I can go to another one real quick. This is what I try. This is what happens when I try to do too many things at one time. So one time, it's funny. I can sit there and I can watch myself on a live stream. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna put this on the other one. All right, here's the link. All right, cool. That's on the other one. All right, we're good to go. Sorry about that, everybody. It started raining again. It's not coming down too hard, but it's just about on top of us. There's like this wall of water coming in, and so it's gonna get pretty gnarly here. But it's all good. I mean, we got Sierra chilling with me. I've got 2 types of coffee here. Check this out. So I've got, for all the 420 smokers out there, I've got, whoops, you can't really see it. It's the Chronic Super Dank from Doma. This is a really good dark roast. It's called the Chronic Super Dank. And then I've got City on a Hill. For those that go into Leadville, City on a Hill is a really good coffee shop. And this is their Father Dyer's dark roast. And they have the best breakfast burrito on the planet. So if you're going through Leadville, Colorado, stop off at City on a Hill and get their breakfast burrito. Get the bacon one, and then get it with the green sauce. They make this green sauce there that's just incredible. It's like this green, like hatch chili sauce. It's amazing. So anyway, let's see what's going on here. Lady Alex, that's funny. Is that naked face? Yeah, I know. So I shaved. So Harry's hit me up. So this is what happened. Let me shut this here. The phone's getting wet. About I'd say probably about 4 weeks ago, this company out of Scotland hit me up, and they're called Centus, and they rep like a bunch of these big brands, and they basically look for different content creators, and then they reach out and they say, hey, if you'd be interested in working with us based on your channel and how much traffic you have, like here's what we would pay for a collaboration. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds good, because I had a friend of mine from back home, and he was telling me about a buddy of his who had a beard ever since like high school. It's for like 30 years, and he shaved, and he ended up finding out that he had skin cancer on his like jaw here, on his chin, and he was able to get it treated and get better. But the doctor was like, if you didn't catch this within the next couple of months, like we probably couldn't have treated it. And so I started thinking, I was like, well, I haven't shaved my face in like 10 years. And I'm out in the sun all the time, so might as well, just shave maybe like once in a while, just make sure that I'm good to go, because that would suck to be taken out by like something like skin cancer. So, but let's see here. What do we got? Where are you ever going to have free time to drink all that coffee by yourself? Yeah, I know. I've already had. Well, see, I got this new coffee maker. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, it's underneath the computer here. Let me grab it real quick. Make sure I don't hit the cord here so that it disconnects. But let me pull this out. I've got this little Italian, well, you can't really see it, but it's a little Italian coffee maker thing. like Italian espresso. I don't want to pull it out because I got to use one hand right now, and I don't want the cord to get out of the webcam there. But it's really nice. You put the water in the bottom of it, and then you grind up your grinds, and there's a little holder for it that has a little thing at the bottom that when the coffee or when the water boils, it comes up through that little tiny hole through the deal that's holding the coffee grounds. It's sealed over the top, and then the water percolates up through the coffee grounds, and then once it boils enough, it comes over into the reservoir there, and you pour it out. So it makes it really easy to make coffee. So I've had 4 cups today. So kind of a little jazzed at the moment. But I'd say it is like I like dark roasts, and dark roasts don't have as much caffeine, so I guess that's okay. So 4 cups isn't that bad over the course of a day. But I typically cut out all my coffee drinking by like 3, that way I can try and sleep at night. So let's see here. Use fused good and coconut oil. Okay. Let's see. Pandemic. Thank you. Yep. Are there any restrictions while camping? The only restrictions right now, let's see. So some of the campgrounds are still closed. Some of the national parks haven't opened up yet. I know for a fact that where I'm at here in in Lake County, which is near Leadville, Colorado, where I'm at, it's let's see here. Let me show you all Sierra here. There she is. She's been napping off and on today. But right now there's fire restrictions. So the BLM has stage 2 fire restrictions, which is like no fires whatsoever. You can't shoot a gun. You can't operate a chainsaw. You can't do anything that would cause a spark. However, on Forest Service land, just like here where I am, it's stage 1 fire ban, which means like the fire pit that I have out here, I can't have a fire in it. But if I have like a little firebox that has a spark arrestor on the top of it, you can use that. So if you have like a little wood burning stove, that's fine, as long as it has the the grate on the top of it that would be a spark arrestor. And then any propane is fine. You can use propane. Anything with a shut-off valve is no problem. You hear that? Oh, we're starting to get thunder. Oh, here comes the rain. It's coming down good now. Oh yeah, it's really coming in. Well, we're gonna be socked in for a while. So one thing I did forget to do is I haven't eaten dinner yet, so we'll have to fire that up later. But what I did was I went into Silverthorne yesterday because there's a Whole Foods there, and I'm still doing that special diet where I'm not doing a whole lot of flour or sugar or anything like that. And when I was there, let's see, what was I going to tell you? Oh, when I was there, I went to Whole Foods and I got enough food. I want to stay out here for 7 days without going back into town, but I got enough protein, like meat, for 4 days. So that means that I have to fish for the other. So what I'm going to do is I was saying in the other live stream that I got some cornmeal and a little bit of flour and some cayenne pepper and some salt and some black pepper and stuff like that. And I'm going to make like a batter or something to fry up the brook trout in the cast iron. And so we'll probably do that maybe tomorrow because the rain is supposed to go pretty solid now all throughout tonight and then into tomorrow. And the thing about it tonight is they were originally saying it was going to get down to 36. Now it's supposed to get down to 28. So if it's raining and it's getting down to 28, then it's obviously going to snow. So hopefully it snows a bunch because that'd be pretty cool. I mean, here it is, June 18th, and it'd be snowing out, which wouldn't be the first time in June that I get snow up here, but it's kind of nice. I mean, like the evening times here are really nice and cool, and I like sleeping cold. And the daytimes, it's not getting it hasn't even broken 70 at this area. Now, further up the 4x4 trail here, this is East Tennessee Creek. This just continues flowing, into the valley here, and then Mount Massive is way off in the distance. But if you go way up this trail, I mean, it's a gnarly 4x4 trail. And there's no one back up in here. I saw 2 cars drive by today, and I've been here since, let's see, we got here 2 nights ago, so I've been here for 3 days. So that's 2 cars in 3 days. And then one person walked by, but it was the rancher who lives down the street, and I chatted with him for like 20 minutes. So it was pretty cool. So let's see here. All right, let's see. So let's see. Thinking of extreme cold weather camping. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about going north for extreme cold winter camping because, like, down here in Colorado, it's weird. Our winters have not been getting as cold as they normally have, and the snow accumulation is just so hit or miss. It's not guaranteed like it used to be. And so, I want to get into some really gnarly conditions. And the first year I was winter camping in 2015, I mean, it was fun. Like the second day I was there, I got a 3-foot snowstorm. I was like, this is awesome because it was so cool. But then, ever since 2015, it just hasn't been it hasn't been good. Like the snow accumulation, it's been more windy than snowy, which is pretty miserable when you're winter camping because it's like you can't do a whole lot outside anyway. And if it's windy out, and if it's sub minus or sub-zero temperatures with wind, that just sucks. And so it'd be fun if I was going to be in temperatures that cold. I might as well be socked in with a ton of snow. So I was thinking about going north into Wyoming or someplace like that, maybe in Idaho. I mean, Idaho gets real cold, but just some places that just I know that I'll get a ton of snow, or maybe up to just even like Steamboat Springs in Colorado here, because that gets a lot more snow than other areas. It's a different weather pattern up there. So, let's see simply like you're asking about the tundra. I think that what I want to do the access cab. I don't want to do the full double cab. I want to do the access cab. And then, obviously the bed on it, I think it's a 6'5" bed, I think is what it is, 6'5" inch. But I wanted to either get the 2005 or the 2006 because that has the 6-inch deeper bed, which gives me more storage room, like we were talking about in that one video. And then other than that, I mean, I just basically want somebody that took good care of it, and then once I find what I want, then I'll buy it and then I'll just slowly build it out. Like each month I'll just add stuff to it and make it cool. But I probably won't do that for another year or two because I have fun in this Tacoma. I love this truck. It's just fun to drive, and I know it so well. I mean, other than clipping trees on the back, which I always do on the side quarter panels, which a lot of people do on Tacomas. Other than that, I mean, I know the dimensions of this thing so well because I've driven it in so many places. So it's easy to maneuver, and that's one thing I like about it is that I know it so well. It's easy to operate. Everything is, it's like old hat here. Since I've been doing it for 5 years. So, all right, let's see what else we got. Michael, glad to have you catch one here, man. Sunny hot Spain, cool. Danny Boy Spain, welcome. But for your Tundra. Oh, Heather, yeah. So you got a Tundra as well. What year did you get, Heather? Let's see. Cascade, Idaho gets a ton of snow. Cool. Thanks for the information, Nicholas. I'm looking forward to going to Idaho as soon as I get all my truck upgrades done here. I'm having Tomkin Machine down in Granite Buena Vista area. I'm having them install all the upgrades in my truck, and I'm still trying to decide. I'm thinking about. So I've got a snorkel, a winch, rear bumper with the swing out and everything. They're gonna trim the quarter panels on the underside. They're gonna cut them to where I can have about that much off of them, so it's a little bit higher exit trajectory. But I'm also thinking about doing that. I saw on extremeterrain.com for those who have like Jeeps or Tacomas or Tundras, or let's see, I think they have the Gladiator on there now too. Extremeterrain.com has excellent selection of stuff. And so if you get on there and check it out, I've got a credit with them. So I was thinking about, they have this skid plate that goes all the way under the entire truck for the Tacoma. It's about $800 and it's from ARB. And I was like, I might as well get that too. So I think I'm going to just put all that armor underneath it. And then the last thing I'll need to get are sliders for my truck. And then after that, I'm pretty much set. And then once I get the rear bumper on, I'm going to start designing my own custom camper on the back here, because I look at the ones that people make and they're awesome. I mean, like there's lots of great campers out there, but they want a ton of money for them. And a lot of them I look at, I'm like, yeah, it looks great, but it doesn't have this, or it doesn't have that. Or, there's a lot of storage space or something. There's too much storage space or whatever, and I want to basically make it to where this is a man cave. And then I have a sleeping quarters up here. That's it. Like I want to have a huge lounge area here where I'm just chilling. Maybe I have like either projection screen or a TV over here. And I still do like a little bit of a bump out on the back. It would still slide out a little bit to give me a little more room in here in space. But it basically just be an area for me and Sierra to chill and cook food, just hang out, work on content, have like a nice comfortable like love seat area here that I could move out into a bed if I wanted to, if I had guests or something sleeping with me. And that's what I want. And I kind of would like to make it look like a log cabin. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what I come up with. I know what I want on the interior. Then I was also thinking, I was thinking about something crazy like a Transformer style camper to where you could literally have it to where, camper dude, thanks man, I appreciate that. Facebook fun. Yeah, I'll definitely need to get some suntan on this face, man. I haven't seen any sun on this face in 10 years. So, but what I was thinking is like, you basically have a camper. You've got the width here that if you were to stand this up on its side, to where if it went like this and like this, you could basically have two boxes on each other like this. One could go up this way, one could go up that way. And you would have bump outs on all sides. You could basically like a 2-foot bump out that would go up like this. It would increase the space from here from 5 feet to 9 feet. You could sleep this way if you wanted to. And you could have like a dinette right here, but that could lay down. And then you could sleep this way and then have like a bigger hood. You could stand all the way up. And the way that it would work is you could have like so it would basically have like two boxes on top of each other. You got like a box here, but you can't really see, like a box here, and then a box on top of it, basically. Okay. Now what it would do is it would fold out like this, and the other one would fold out this way on the truck. Okay. And then since it's it's raised up because it's a rectangle, that rectangle bumps out on both sides and increases the width of your living space by 4 feet, which is a lot in this in this area. And then the way it can work is when it's down like this, you basically have a top that raises up and down that could have walls that come up on both sides. So you'd have the permanent walls on both the front and the back that could raise up with like, you could put on like motorized brackets or something that would come up. And so the ceiling would come up like this, and the ceiling would hold everything down, when you're traveling. But when you get to camp, you could have like a motorized thing, push a button, it'd pop up. You could put this one up this way and it's lock into place. Put the other one that way, lock into place. You'd have a huge camper. And it'd be easy to water seal that too. So I was thinking about it'd be really fun to try something like that. I don't know if it would be. Thanks, BRP. Yeah, I'm thinking I look younger with this. Everybody's telling me that. So, and I've had a lot of positive comments from women. So I think I'm going to keep it. But yeah, so I'm thinking like that would be a fun project to do. But all those moving parts in a camper tends to lend itself to breakage. Things could screw up and not work, and that would be really frustrating if you're trying to set up camp one night and like your camper won't set up. So I'll probably go with the one that I'll build myself, just like it has a pop top that comes up and down, make it real lightweight. I was thinking about making the sides of them hard sided. I want to put a link in here real quick. I don't know if y'all have seen Hiatus Campers. This little website in here. This is a company. If y'all are on Instagram and if you follow a lot of different truck camping people, let me put this in here. These people a camper by themselves for a first generation Tacoma with the 6-foot bed, and it had the access cab and then the 6-foot bed, and then they made it to where it would pop up, and then it had these accordion style like walls that would go like on both sides, were insulated, and then it had a hard wall for the back and a hard wall for the front. And now they're starting to sell them, and so that's a cool idea. But they want like 13.5, I think, for just the shell, which I think is more power to them if they get that, but I could build it myself. And so that's the idea. And like, it's basically taken from like the Alaskan camper, because the Alaskan camper, even though it's hard sided, it raises up, and then the front part there has a part where it has like a hard side will come out like this, and then the front, and that's how it encloses it for those Alaskan campers, if y'all have seen those. And you can live in those Alaskan campers year round, no problem, because they're fully insulated. So I was thinking it'd be cool to have something like that here. So I've got two options I could do. I could do like the smaller one that looks more low pro, and then has it to where it just pops up like that, or I could do the one to where the roof pops up like this and basically sets the structure into place, and then has it to where it folds out on both sides and creates a big camper, which would be fun to do. But like I said, that second option would have a ton of moving parts, which may not work well with me being on 4x4 trails. So, all right. So let's see. What do we got here? Hello, Sierra. Yeah, Sierra's right here. Oh, Pumpkin, are you cold, girl? I think she's a little chilly. I'm going to get a blanket for her here and throw this on real quick. There you go, sweetie. She's been running around all day. We had fun. So I went and purified water, and I had about 7 gallons to do. So it took me about 30 minutes. And while I was purifying water, Sierra she was cracking up. She's running up and down the creek, in the middle of the creek, with like sticking her head underwater and grabbing sticks out of the riverbed, and then running up and down the creek and throwing them up in the air by herself and then catching them. And I'm like, this dog just loves being out here. So it's fun being with her. But all right, so let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that Doug, that's the one thing, is the weight goes up real fast, because I like with my build here, what I did was I did the frame out of 2x4s, but the rest of it was made with aspen wood. So I was able to do the slide out extension for, it was only 40 pounds, which is, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But, you know, with the camper, I mean, the thing about the thing that would fold up like this, it's so much weight that would go out, because it'd be all wood is what I would start with just to try it out. And I just think that I don't know, I'm leaning more towards just like the simple build with like just the pop-up that would raise up and down. And then you have two options with that. You can do canvas and insulate it with canvas, because canvas is breathable. And then in the wintertime, it wouldn't be too loud like my tent is, you know, like the big tent that I have in the wintertime, because it wouldn't be synthetic. And so the canvas would be a lot easier with that. Or I could do it to where it raises up and then I could just have hard sides pop up, you know, like 3-foot hard sides that would just basically fold out like both sides. And then same with the front and the back, which would be real simple to do. And I was looking online, there's some pretty cool companies. Let's see if I have a link for it. There's one company, Van Life with Gina, thank you. Yeah, things are going good. I am currently out camping outside of Leadville, Colorado. So things are going great out here. I don't really notice much. Only thing I notice really is that there's not as many people out, just because I think there's, you know, a lot of people are still either affected with stay-at-home orders, or, you know, maybe their income got disrupted with the economic shutdown, and so there's just no one out. So I'm telling my friends, and I'm telling everybody here, like, if you've got some free time and you've got the funds to travel, then, you know, come on out to Colorado and get a little bit away from Denver, and you're not going to see anybody. When I was over in Silverton hanging out over there, heck, I was over there for like 3 weeks. I didn't see anybody. There was a 2-week period at camp where the only time I saw people was when I went into town to go get supplies and come back, and I never saw anybody for 2 weeks at that campsite, at that pedestal one. So if you can make it out, I'd say do it, because, like, especially dispersed camping, the campgrounds, I think the ones that are open, I've heard that they're getting slammed with reservations, so you might not be able to get, you know, a site. But dispersed camping, everything's available, so you're good. Even on BLM land, with the stage 2 fire restrictions, you can still go camp. You just can't have a fire. So just bring a good lantern with you if you want to hang out at night. But the sun's not going down until almost 9 o'clock, and so if you hike all day, you know, and hang out and you're active, by the time the sun goes down, you'll be ready to go to bed. So let's see. Always frequency. Yeah, I know. She's the thing about her is she's really got really good trail presence. Like, you know, we'll be on trails, and if the trail is a ledge trail, something like that, she'll get towards the back. And the thing about the GoPro is it looks like I'm a lot closer. A lot of times I'll have the GoPro on the selfie stick and I'll have it out like 5 feet from me. And with the fisheye lens that the GoPro has, it makes it look like everything's a lot closer, because like the fisheye portion of it will look like I'm standing right on the edge, but I'll be like 5 feet from it, and same with Sierra. But I'll come back and look at the video and it looks like we're literally like tiptoeing on the edge. So just heads up, like in the future, I've always got her back from that. But, and then also too, like, you know, if she gets excited around camp and we're at a ledge shot, I'm like, nope, I just put her on a leash, because I'm like, I just would feel horrible if she saw a squirrel or something like that, chased after it and leapt off a cliff, and, you know, that was the end of it. So for the most part, though, we don't camp on those ledge sites. It's just this past spring we just had one site after another that was just incredible, and these ledge sites were amazing that we were at. So whoops, oh rats, I did not realize that the window was open back there, and it was getting okay. What's going on with this? Huh, this thing isn't charging. Hang on a second, I gotta make sure that this charges, because if it doesn't, we're gonna be out of juice here in a sec. DC on. Why is this not charging? Oh, there it goes. I think my charging cord's going bad on that. All right, I noticed that the water was just getting all over the battery back here. By the way, Max Oak, that Blue Eddy company, they got a new battery coming out, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get a chance to review it, because it's incredible. It's a big enough battery to where if I wanted to, I could run a space heater in here, no problem. And it's like, I think it handles up to a 2,000 watt continuous pull from it. Now, I can't remember how big it is. Excuse me. I want to say it's like 200 amp hours, which is huge. And it's like a 2,000 watt, 200 amp hour battery. And so, and it has like a million plugs on the front. So if I build this camper and then if I get that battery, it's called the AC200. If I get that battery, I will be set. Like I don't even know if I'd need a stove in here for the wintertime, which it'd be fun to have a stove in the wintertime just to work with it. But realistically, with such a small space, I'd have such a small stove that I'd get a burn that would maybe last for like an hour or two, and then I'd have to, restoke it. So I don't know if it'd even be worth getting a little stove in here, but it'd be cool video, which would be fun. Or maybe I'll just work on with the awning room and just keep the stove out there and then just have a little space heater in here. But we'll see. Okay. Going to Canada to camp. I don't know yet. I'd love to come up, but right now I got so much to see here in the States, and it's interesting. Like every year I think, okay, well, I've seen a lot this year. I'll go out of the country, but then like that year will come to an end. I'm like, God, I got so much more I got to go see in the States. And I've literally only been in Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah for the last 5 years. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface. So, I mean, it's just amazing how much terrain there is out here. And there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about and stuff that's not published. And so once you get out on the road, you start talking to other people and they'll say like, oh, have you been to this spot? And it's like, no. And then you go check it out and it's amazing and there's no one there. And you're like, wow, this is incredible. And so that's what's fun about being on the road like this is you end up meeting a bunch of other people that are traveling, like my friends Elsa and Baron, a lot of people watch them, or like Phil from Down to Mob, like we're all going to different spots, but we all share it with each other. So I've got a private map that I have. And so I hooked up Baron and Elsa with that. And then also Phil from Down to Mob, because like Phil was asking me with his Jeep, with his Gladiator build, he'd be able to go a lot more places than with the Dodge Mahal. It was a nice truck, but it weighed 12,000 pounds. I mean, that's a big rig. And his new truck or his new rig would be like half that weight. And so he's like, where can I go in Colorado? I was like, let me shoot you this map. So for all the people that are on Patreon, they get access to that map. And so if you want to access it, you're welcome to it. So it'd be like $1 a month if you want to get it. So I'll put up my link for Patreon for that. But all these sites, what I ask is that people be real mindful of not sharing the information online, or not showing the location. I mean, you can do pictures and stuff like that, but like I want to keep this for us. I want to keep these places that I find that are so awesome. Like I want to keep it to where they're not spoiled, and so that's why the map is private and not just for the masses. And so if you could just keep that information kind of on the down low. Lady Alex, thank you for saying I look nice. So I haven't shaved in forever, and I was wondering how my face would look underneath here. Maybe not shaving for so long and having like a beard to protect it has like saved my skin, because it looks the same as it was when I was 35. So pretty cool. The only thing about shaving is you got to do it every day, so it's kind of a pain. But other than that, it's cool. So, but anyway, with that Patreon map, I also put hot springs on there, hiking trails. I'm starting to put pay campgrounds that I think are worth it, because there are some pay campgrounds that are incredible. And so, I'm also loading up pictures. And so a lot of the ones, when I first got the map going, I just put the sites on, but then I usually circle back and I go to all these sites again. And so I'll start loading more pictures, and I'm also putting cell service in there now too. And so that way, if you need to go somewhere, and if you think like, well, I want to go camp, but I got to do work stuff, well, you can create a wireless hotspot and get your work stuff done and still camp, it's that way they won't know. And I think a big, one of the huge positives of this coronavirus, which there's not many positives, but one of the huge ones is I think a lot of businesses are going to allow people to work from home going forward, which will give you a ton of flexibility, because if you have a good data plan, you can go out and be out in nature full time as long as you have a connection and work, and they won't know. I mean, I did that for 6 months before I hit the road. And then once I did hit the road, I didn't tell my clients, because I still owned a business in Denver when I hit the road. I didn't tell my clients for another 6 months that I was living in my truck full time. And once I told them, they're like, what? They're like, you respond immediately. I'm like, well, yeah, you get your email on your phone or your computer, you can respond. It doesn't matter. I don't have to be in my house in Denver to respond to an email. I can get an internet connection out here. And what's nice is a lot of these companies, these cell companies, they just compete for, map coverage. So they're putting up towers like crazy. So a lot of areas that I used to go to when I first started truck camping didn't have cell service, and now they do. And that does come with a drawback though. It's like I get to the point where I'm right on the edge. So like this site right here, if I go back any further, it gets to be marginal cell reception to where I don't think I would be able to upload anything. But right here, it's good. So what I can do is I can turn off my booster here and then have like a marginal cell service. Or if I want to do a live stream like I'm doing now, I can just turn on the booster and be good. But if I'm right on the edge of the cell service, I can kind of manage it to where I don't have to where I'm not on it all the time, I guess is what I'm saying. Because if I have like lightning fast internet connection, I'll probably be on it a bunch, like uploading content and doing things and not fly fishing or spending time with Sierra. So I got to be mindful of that a little bit. But Regina, yeah, I do. I eat fish for dinner a lot. I like brook trout the best. I found that when I smoke those over like a spit, if you smoke them over a fire and with a spit, the skin on them will flake up and it tastes like potato chips. It's amazing, like the best potato chip you've ever had. So I love brook trout. And there's a place that is like, it's kind of down from where I'm at, about 5 miles, where wild asparagus and wild onions grow. And so you can go over there and you can get like bags of them and then cook them up in a foil pack with like the brook trout. Oh, it's so good. It's the best stuff you've ever had. And if you bring up like some potatoes with you too, all you gotta do is like in your pocket, carry a little bit of potatoes with you, grab your asparagus and onions, go up to the lake, and especially when there's no fire ban, if you have like your spit, then you can cook it that way with smoking it. Or if you want to do a foil pack, you can take a little bit of heavy duty aluminum foil and be good to go. So yeah, it's awesome. I love brook trout. Cutthroats are good too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with cuts. And I think that lake trout are okay. They're not the best tasting. It's weird. Like the meat is, it's different. So I don't really prefer lake trout. I like brook trout first, cuts second. I'd say browns third. Cuts and browns are pretty much the same. And then rainbows are good too. But then after that, it's a pretty quick drop off. And a lot of people ask, they're like, do you get sick of eating trout? And I don't get sick of eating trout because you can use so many different things with it. And I'll make like trout tacos, trout, make like a veggie bowl and throw the trout in it and all that stuff. It's really good. So let's see. Yeah, Laura, that's why I don't do it very often. But I usually do the spit. But the way I look at it, aluminum foil pack, once on a blue moon, I'm not gonna die from it. So Matthew, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Streaming getting a cell signal in corridor reception areas. Be my Mavic Mini drone and that's cool. Captain Bob. Yeah, you know what I've found is that I'll like get right at the edge of the cell signal, and then I'll go like another half mile, and then with this booster that I have, the new booster, I think it's the WeBoost Connect. It's 60% more powerful than the previous one I had, and so I can go like a half mile in where my router is basically telling me there's no signal back here. I can turn it on and get like 3 bars of LTE, which is crazy. So it's great because I like even in areas that are crowded, everybody stays right at the cell service boundary. Like a lot of people, once you go past that, there's not a lot of people because people want to be connected, and they might need to be connected with family or friends for a number of reasons. But you get back in there, and it's so nice. You can turn on the booster, have your service, get your work done that you need to get done, then turn the booster off and have your peace and quiet, and it's great. And so I love it. So let's see here. Matthew, awesome, man. Thank you for joining Patreon. I'll get what I'll do is I'll log on after we get done here. I'll add you to the My Maps, and then I post every like Saturday or Sunday. I'll post up all the new locations I added this for that week, and the new locations will be at the bottom of the legend. So if you're looking at the map, on the left hand side, there's all these different locations. At the bottom is always the new locations that I'm adding. But if you just look at the map of the United States, you can just drill down to individual area and see it. And there's a color legend in the top, so look for that as well. And that'll tell you if it's like a campsite or a hiking trail or a hot spring or or whatever. So Jason, I actually don't have a cell phone. I actually go through a company called NetBuddy, and that's what I have for my router here. And then what this is a SIM card that I got from Walmart. It's like a generic one that they can remote activate. And then what NetBuddy does is they're down in Colombia, like the country. And down there, down in Central and South America, AT&T's got a huge network. And the reason why they're so big is that the country doesn't have infrastructure for like hardline, internet, but not like T1 or anything like what we have. And so the way that people get internet down there is via, cellular. So they sell these unlimited data cards that you can get. I think it's up to 800 gigs of data a month. And so what he does is he just buys those cards and then just remote activates them for you. And he'll go out every month and he'll buy like a certain amount of cards, and then he'll go on his website and say, okay, we're gonna let this service go up. It's $65 a month. I'm gonna go online here. He'll announce. I'll say Saturday at 8 a.m. I'm gonna have new customers, and then it'll be on sale until it fills up. And he'll fill up in literally like 20 minutes, and then he'll be out of service or out of bandwidth for like another month. But he does that every month. So if you go on the website, it's just netbuddy.co. So that's a service you can use. Another one is Ubify. It's UBIFI, I think, Ubify. And they use the AT&T network as well. And the same thing, they have like these routers that you get. I think their service is like $80 a month, so they're $15 more. If you want to be on the Verizon network, what's the name of that service? There's a new phone service out. I can't remember the name. It's like $25 a month, and you can trick it into turning it into a wireless hotspot, but it still thinks that it's just a phone, and the phone's got unlimited data on it. And I can't remember the name of it. Let's see. Does anybody? Let's see. What is the name of that service? I can't remember the name of it. Lady Alex, no, I don't have the Jacker anymore. I'm using the Blue Eddy 150, so it's a much bigger battery. It's like 4 times the size, and I sold my Jackery to my buddy Hank. Let's see. What is the name of that company? I'm trying to remember the one for Verizon. I can't remember what it is. It's there's a ton of stuff on YouTube actually about it. If you look up like unlimited Verizon hotspot, you'll see it. And so what it is, it's this phone that you get from this company, and they're a licensed Verizon reseller, and so it's on the Verizon network. So if you want that coverage instead of AT&T, you can get it. And it's $25 a month, and people tell me it works. Like there's no throttling on it, and you buy this little cube thing that you plug into the phone, and basically that cube tricks the phone into thinking that you're not creating a wireless hotspot, because the wireless hotspot's capped on that phone at 5 gigs. But this cube thing that you buy, you plug it into the phone, and then the phone's got unlimited data, so it thinks that it's still just using the phone, but it's creating a wireless hotspot for your computer. So that's available. And then the other service available is Unlimitedville, and they have it for Sprint. Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. I think they got one, and I think they have one more, but they're expensive. They're really expensive. But they're full on legit. I think the guy that runs NetBuddy, I think he's a one-man show, and I think he's just like he never responds to emails. Like he's got the horrible you see the customer service rating on Facebook, and it's like 2 stars. Everybody's like, this dude never responds, and I think he's just a one-man show who just figured out a loophole. But Unlimitedville has like a full-on customer service tech crew and all that stuff. And I think for their AT&T service, like I'm paying $65 a month. Their AT&T service is $200. So, but they've got full-on tech support. I don't need tech support because I used to work for tech companies, so I know what to do. But for those that may not be all that tech savvy, you can do it. But NetBuddy got started because the guy was offering it to rural America, so he was offering it to like farmers. And then the Nomad crowd, I heard about it from Phil from down to Mob, and the Nomad crowd was the one that tuned me or that turned me onto it. And then I just tell everybody about it. I'm like, dude, get NetBuddy. I've had a great service with it. Like here at camp, that video I did, the shaving video, I had to upload it to Harry's so they could look at it first and approve it. 1.5 gig video uploaded in 8 minutes. 8 minutes from camp. That's crazy. That's really good. So, and then I'm downloading, entire movies, like 5 and 6 gig movies in like 25 minutes, if even that, 20 minutes. So it's pretty fast. I mean, the speeds are great. So let's see. All right. See, a lot of people are tuning in. Thanks. Let's see. It looks pretty light outside. Yeah, no, it's still raining here. Let me show you. It's still raining pretty good out at the moment. Let me, I think instead of taking the whole thing out, I'm just going to take this off the base here and show you. But we still got some pretty good rain coming down. It's more light rain at the moment. It's just real consistent. And it's enough to where I think that if we went outside, we just get drenched. So looking this way, I'll show you all what I've got over here set up. Put my tent out just in case if I ever want to leave camp and store stuff. And then I've got this stick here that I'm using to hold up the tarp, or I'm sorry, hold up the awning. Because if you don't do that when it rains, then you're gonna have water pool on your tarp eventually, and then it'll eventually, fail. It'll, like, the water will collapse it. So that's what that is there. And then I put a little towel underneath there so that I don't punch a hole in it. And so that's what how camp is set up. And then just right outside here, just like literally right below the wheel well for my rear wheel well there, that's where I have my kitchen set up. And so it's just that little minimalist kitchen that I use, the little Cabela's folding table, and then also the Coleman propane stove and all that stuff. So the brand of the projector, well, I have a projector that they don't make anymore, but the new one is called Ape Man. So if you look on Amazon, let me pull this up here. 100 lumens brighter than the one that I have, so and the battery life is longer, and it has a better speaker on it. Ape Man projector. There it is. Whoops, mini. I gotta put mini projector in there. All right, where'd it go? There it is. So this is a really good one. It's the Ape Man. Here, let me put this there. Okay, so that's the Ape Man. Let me see if that clicks. Yeah, that does. And then as far as the fan, this is the little fan that I got here. Let's see, what's it called? Natural Wind USB fan. It's just this little tiny one here. So let's see here. It's see here. That's a better picture. So it's a little tiny one. It swivel like let me take this off here. Swivels like this. So it swivels back and forth, and it's just USB. The thing is like all of the USB fans that I've had up to this point, they all crap out in like the first week. Like they've all been horrible. This one's lasted for 6 months. So let me see if I can find the link on this one with my old computer, because I'm not logged into Amazon on this one. I got to do like this stupid 2-step verification thing. Oh, there's the little deal. But I'll find that, and I'll circle back, and I'll put that up in the video description. And then I'm planning on, since it's raining like this, I've got two podcasts to edit. One with my buddy Craig that I co-host the podcast with, and then one with my friend Chad, who lives out in Arizona and Off Grid Ranch. And then after that, like I was just planning on working on my website, putting like the fan up there for sale, all those different things, just putting up links, all those links on my store that I've been meaning to do forever, and just get that all squared away. So that'll be done by the weekend, which would be cool. So let's see here. What else have we got? So yeah, the brand of the fan is Natural Wind is what it's called. Let me see if I can find it real quick on Amazon. Yep, there it is. All right, here it is. Wow. Oh, they discounted to $9. That's great. All right, here's the link. Let me put this up real quick. Oh, hey, what's up, Adam? Yeah, I know. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I think this will help my. Oops, this is too big. Let me. I gotta do a Bitly for this. It's 16 characters over what they allow. So hang on one second. I gotta go to Bitly and get this link shrunk down so that y'all can use it real quick. So this is the link for the USB fan that I use. What the heck? Why is that? Why didn't that copy? Oh, that's why. All right, here it is. All right, so that's the only fan that's ever worked for USB, and I've dropped this thing a million times already and yanked on the cord to get it out of the USB thing when I'm packing up real quick. It doesn't break. So Adam, dude, thanks for tuning in, man. I was thinking about you today. I was fishing. I was like, you got to get up here and come fly fish with me. So let me know if you want to come out this summer. We can go to some spots. There are some really big fish up here in Leadville. There's some big hikes we got to do to get in there, but like that fish that I caught 2 years ago, that 22-inch cut, that was like so fat I couldn't even get my hand around half of it to hold it up. Like we could go there. And so let me know if you want to come out, dude. Just hit me up anytime. Let's see here. Vaughn, I'm thinking about it. I mean, like the hiatus, the thing that the problem is those things are so expensive. Like all those campers, it's like a minimum for just the shell, a minimum of like 12 grand. And I could think of like a million different ways to spend 12,000 bucks. Plus, I could build my own the way that I want to, and I know what I want. So then the thing is like I pulled the trigger on that AT Overland topper, and then I got cold feet. I'm like, no, I don't want something that everybody else has. I want my own, and so I have no problem rolling in this. This thing's great, and I'm having fun with it. But I think it'd be a fun project to do, build my own camper, and then I could just build it the way I want. And if it didn't turn out the way I want, heck, I still have this. It's not a big deal. And eventually, I'm going to go to the tundra, so we'll figure that out. Regina, so why did I decide to live as a nomad? Well, I was in the corporate world for a long time, and I crushed it there for a bit, and then I got to the point to where I just got completely disenfranchised with everything. Like, I had some business owners that I was working with, some people that I worked for that were complete jerks. I actually became addicted to prescription pills because I couldn't sleep at night. And I thought, you know what? If I have to take pills to sleep at night, all that stuff, then I need to change because I can't change the system. And so I'd notice when I go out camping that I'd always feel like $1 million bucks. And I'm like, man, I just feel great. And I mentally, I feel refreshed. Sorry, I got to plug this in. Mentally, I feel refreshed every time I come out here. And then I go back to, Denver, and I go back to Denver and I just immediately get pissed off. Like, I get out in traffic and somebody cut me off and I just get bent out of shape for no reason. I'm like, it's the environment that's making me like this. Like, I need to change my environment. And so I was like, well, the simple choice is just to go live in my truck. But the hard thing was figuring out the way to make money doing this, because it's not easy. And I think a lot of business owners, and I understand, because I would have this mindset too. If somebody rolls up to you and says, hey, I'm looking for work, and they're living in their vehicle, stuff like that, you kind of think like, okay, is this person, are they living here out of circumstance, or are they living because they just want to have fun? And so I've dealt with that a little bit. But as I was getting the network here built to where I could live off YouTube income and just creating content, doing that full time. But before that really took off, I'd do stuff like I'd be like a ranch hand. I'm good at landscaping. So I worked for the town of Crested Butte as a professional gardener, which was awesome. That was the best job. I basically every morning just rolled in there, had an awesome breakfast there, because at the town hall we had our own little area to cook food. We'd sit there and make awesome breakfast every morning, hang out. It was like 6 guys, and we'd all talk about hunting and fishing and camping all the time. Then I'd go out and I'd trim flowers for 8 hours, and every single girl that walked by should be like, "Oh, those flowers look great." I'm like, "Thanks," And it was just like it was like the most laid back job ever. I had my own town truck, and I'd be like rolling around town about 20 miles an hour with the lights on. It was great. But that was just to fill the income gaps, because it was a struggle. You come out here, and especially when you're used to spending and your spending habits are used to a certain way, then you come out here and you have to completely change all that. But then you think about it, like the hiking's free. Like once you buy your hiking boots, you don't have to buy another pair of hiking boots until you wear them out. And so the hiking's free. The fly fishing's free once you get your permit. So my permit here, $55, in state, and I'm good to go for the year. I can get as many fish as I want with the daily limit, which is great. And it's a great pastime. I couldn't think of a better way to mellow out and just chill, throwing some flies and catching fish. It's really great. And so, long story short, I just realized living in the corporate world was making me aggressive. It was making me become an addict to prescription pills for sleeping. It was causing just a lot of sleepless nights, because I just worry about work, and I worry about these dickhead bosses I worked for that were just assholes, and it was just all money driven. And I get to the point, I'm like, I don't believe in this. I basically had a mental meltdown. I was like, I am not doing this anymore. And I just quit everything. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this shit. And it was kind of nice, because before that, I had always done well in the corporate world. And the reason why I did well was because I was so scared to fail. And I was like, I would work I would work myself 24 hours a day to make sure that I didn't fail. And once I did fail, and I like I was saying, I couldn't sleep, was having problems, being aggressive. I got addicted to prescription pills, all that stuff. And I was looking at all this stuff, and I'm just thinking, like, I wasn't born this way. I wasn't born with all these problems, but it was just being exposed to that bullshit for so long. It just crept up on me, and I was like, this is poisoning my soul. If I don't make a change now, then I can wake up 10 years from now and everything will be the same. I'll just be more disgruntled. I was like, I can't turn into that person. I don't want to be that individual. I'm a happy person. But it's just like something about the corporate life, I don't know. It didn't fit for me. So anyway, once I screwed up and fell on hard times and all that stuff, it was kind of nice because like nobody was paying attention to me anymore. And before that, it used to be like, oh, Brian, you're great at sales, and oh, Brian, we can send you into any room and you'll work the entire room and come out with 20 leads and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking like, yeah, but I don't fucking believe this shit. Any of it. I don't believe one iota of what I'm doing. This is all a farce. Like I would go to bed at night thinking, I'm like, there's got to be something better out there. Like this can't be it. I didn't spend 18 years of my life, growing up into an adult to enter into this. Like this sucks. Like I don't want any part of this. I used to think that I remember thinking that like the second week after I graduated college and I got into the corporate world, I was thinking like, this is bullshit. So anyway, I just realized I'm like, I can change myself. I can't change that environment, but I can change me. I can change what environment I expose myself to. And so I started doing this full time. And then it was cool. It's like my friend Chris Colbert, Chris Colbert, that hiking guy. He's the guy who told me to do YouTube. For the first year that I was on the road, I never did YouTube. I didn't think about it. And he was like, you should do YouTube. I was like, well, what would I put on there? He's like, well, what you're doing. I was like, oh, okay. And because I didn't think that people would find it interesting. And so I started putting stuff up. But initially, it was just for me and my friends. I was like, hey, check out these cool campsites I'm at. And there wasn't much traffic on it or anything. And then there was one winter I stayed at my friend Mike, and he lives by Granite, Colorado. He's got a big, huge 300-acre off-grid ranch. And if for those who have tuned in for a long time, if you remember when I stayed at that off-grid cabin for like 4 months when I was the caretaker there, that was a really cool experience. And one of the videos that I had there got picked up by Outside Magazine and it got put on their network. And that's when my network started to take off. So for the longest time, it was just kind of just like, I'd put up a video, I'd get like 100 views. Like 100 views, another video up, 2 weeks later, 100 views, stuff like that. And then Outside Magazine picked it up and it was like, I went from like 100 views to like 17,000 views in one day. And I was like, oh, wow. And then after that, it's going. And then I started making money with this. And so I started realizing, I'm like, okay, this lifestyle is possible. I just have to fill those gaps until I can get to where it's fully sustainable. And then now it's at that point. But it's a long game, So if like for those that are looking to create income on the road, and if you're looking to do it through YouTube, if you hit it out of the park right in the first year, you can make money, but it's more like 3 or 4 years. And then sometimes it just doesn't ever hit, you kind of have to luck out. And I feel that's what I did. And then this past year, I just started doing more lifestyle videos, like talking about like what Sierra and I do throughout the day, as opposed to like, if you look at the videos prior to that, it's all like, here's how I built my truck extension, or, here's the bumper that I have on my front truck, or here's how I do whatever. It would be more of like how-to videos. And now it's just more of like, here's what it's like to be out here. Because I want to share this experience with everybody. Because I realize that not everyone has the flexibility to get out here and do this. And so I want to try to make it as real as possible and include, not only the good stuff, but also the stuff that sucks and make it real for everybody. So I hope everybody enjoys the content, because I enjoy making these videos and sharing them with people. And it's like, what I'll do is I'll start rolling the camera in the morning, and I'll roll throughout the day, just different stuff. And then I'll download it at night and see what I have for a video. So I won't really have an idea of what I have until I start downloading the video. I mean, I'll kind of have an idea, but it's fun to put it together. And then with like, the music and all that stuff, it makes it kind of cool. So, let's see here. To LAY, yeah, there are companies that pay me to run ads on my channel. That's what actually just happened today with that beard. When I shave my beard, I get companies that hit me up, and then I have the rate card that I send them. Like when a company asks me, like, hey, we like to collaborate with you. I say, okay, well, here's my rate card. And I loaded that on my website. So if you go to my website, the coloradobackcountryadventures.com, I'm going to switch that over to offgridbackcountryadventures.com soon. I'm going to start migrating everything over to that new URL, but it's still my old website, which is coloradobackcountryadventures.com. But if you go there and click on collaborate, then if you click on media kit, that's what I send them. And it's awesome. I mean, a channel my size, just to give people an idea of income, a channel my size, if you do is like a 60-second integrated ad into a video, it's anywhere from $800 to $1,000. If you do a completely like one video just dedicated to that product, it's about $3,000. And so I'm excited to see what those numbers look like when I'm at like 400,000 subscribers instead of 80,000. So, but it's been awesome. I mean, it's fun to interact with everybody, and I love this platform the best. A lot of people ask me like, how come you don't do Instagram a bunch, or how come you don't do Facebook a bunch? And the reason being is that I like this because it's like video. You can really tell the story. Like those are static posts that are on Facebook and Instagram. I guess you could put video up there, but it's not the same. And so that's why I focused on this when I started thinking about content creation. I'm like, this is the platform for it, because heck, I could put up a video that's 2 hours long if I wanted to. I probably won't, but if I wanted to, I could. And that tells the best story because then it gives you the longest timeline to do it. So like that and podcasting, I think, are the best ways to get out there. Because like I want people not only to like the lifestyle, but I obviously want them to like me too. And so that's why I'm trying to include more personal stuff in all my videos. And I don't mind talking about my past either. Like when people ask me why I left the corporate world, it wasn't because everything was rosy. I left the corporate world because my life fell apart. And the reason why it fell apart was because I got addicted to prescription pills. It was Xanax and Klonopin. And then also it just wasn't the right fit for me. And then over time, I just kept on trying to, square peg, round hole, just kept on trying to do it. And eventually I just wore out. And so I'm pretty stubborn, and I don't listen to myself enough. And that was an eye opener for me. I'm like, I like fell on hard times. I was up to like 240 pounds. I'm 170. So imagine me with 70 more pounds. And, it was a bad time, but the good thing about that was one thing I didn't mention is that when I was in the sales arena, and I was always in whichever company I worked for, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I just would always work my butt off because I was fearful of failing. Like I was talking about, I'd always work my butt off to get to like where I was considered one of the top producers. And as a result of that, everybody would always look to me for like, oh yeah, look at Brian, he's going on a cool trip, or he has a nice car, or he lives on the beach, or he has a nice suit on, or whatever. And it's like, once I screwed up, all those people that paid attention to all that bullshit, they quit paying attention to me because I didn't have that stuff anymore. And I thought, okay, now with nobody watching me, I can reinvent myself the way that I want to. And that's what I did. And so I looked at that negative experience, and yeah, it sucked to go through, but I looked at it, I'm like, okay, no one's looking at me right now like they used to. And I can change my life to whatever I want. And everybody loves a comeback story. And so that's what I did. And it's been awesome. I get so much inspiration out of living this way, and so much inspiration from everybody that tunes in is like, dude, I love this stuff. And I wish I had more time to respond to more comments, because like I just can't get to all of them, but I really appreciate everybody that tunes in. It just makes me feel great. And like everybody that loves on Sierra, she's so much fun. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'll pat my belly. So anyway, let's see. Put the beard back on, Kevin. Okay, I got the burrito and the beard. The bees. We got to put the bees back on. Yeah, you know what I have been doing for the burritos in the morning, though, is I got this really good smoked ham. I don't know if y'all have Beeler's at your grocery store, but it's like this really good organic ham, and they make an excellent smoked bacon. And so they have this smoked ham that you can get, and it's actually like a quarter, and it's based on how much it weighs, but it's basically really good quality organic ham that tastes great. And I've been chopping that up in the morning and throwing it in with my omelets, and man, that's good. So I'll do like onions, yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, spinach, lots of hot sauce, and then that ham in there, and dude, it is good. So that's good stuff. Oh, you can't have ham too high sodium. That's let's see, Nicholas, I left the corporate world. Let's see. Well, I owned a business for 5 years before I hit the road, but all my clients were publicly traded, so I consider that corporate too. So I officially left owning a house and all that stuff. I officially left all that on July 5th, 2015. So coming up on, I'll be entering my 6th year here within less than a month, which is awesome of living this way. And it's been great. Like, yeah, I tell people, like, the only inconvenience of living this way sometimes, and this is me talking. Not everybody that lives this way operates in this manner, but I like to push it every day to find the best absolute campsite I possibly can. And I can't tell you how many times I've been out and I'll set up at a campsite. I'm like, this doesn't feel right, and I'll like break down, go set up at another one, be like, it didn't feel right, break down, go set up another one throughout the day, keep doing that throughout the day, and then it'll be nighttime and I haven't set up somewhere yet. And I'm like, I do this all the time. Why am I such a dumbass? But it's because I want to go around and see the best of each area. And I always think, like, even on this trail, I'm like, there's got to be something better around the corner. Like, and there usually always is. So I just need to be content with staying put. And that's what I'm kind of focusing on this year, is staying in one spot and, for at least more than one night. My first year on the road, I mean, heck, every day I moved to a new spot. And that was fun, but you get tired. You wear out real quick, and it's expensive. So let's see. Dude, Chris, I didn't know that was inspiration for you getting your Tundra. That's awesome, dude. Hang on, somebody just asked a question up here. I didn't see what it was. Oh, it's for Jacqueline. Okay, so I've got a 4-inch memory foam mattress. It's just one of those that you can just buy. I think it was like $200. I got it off Amazon. It's a twin plus, I think is what it is. A little bit longer than a normal twin, and it fits in here perfect. I mean, it fits literally, like, there's like 1 inch to spare on the sides and 1 inch to spare at the back. That's it. So it fits real well. But this is starting to wear out. I've had it now for, gosh, I think 2 years now. So yeah, it's starting to wear out. So I'll have to get a new one. Boar's Head is good stuff, Michael. Yeah, Boar's Head's really good. It's cool. Captain Bob, you went sailing. That sounds awesome, man, for a decade. Whew. That sounds cool. Yeah, I know, the Simple that guy. Well, so I went back up to that area where I had that Sasquatch experience and I wanted to film, and I went down to that campsite where I saw it at, and there was somebody there. So I'm going to go back up probably within the next month to that area, go fly fishing again, because that lake, so it's Hancock Lakes, for those who want to look it up in Colorado. They have huge cutthroats in there. And then along that trail going up there, that's where I had that Sasquatch experience. So I at least want to go up and film and show where I saw it, because it was up from camp a little bit. And so I'm going to do that probably within like a month's time. Follow-up video on living expenses and what. Yeah, Kevin, I've been thinking about doing that. The only thing is that YouTube now, I heard, and I'll have to confirm this, because I hired a consulting firm to help me grow my channel. So they're really helping me with a lot of back-end stuff, which is great. But they meet with YouTube all the time, and so I need to ask them. Last time I talked to them, I think they said that anybody now that talks about the income they make on YouTube, like specifically in a video, not in a live stream, but in a video, that they ding those for some reason. I don't know if that's true or not. So I'll have to ask them about it again and see if that's the case. If it's not, then yeah, I'll definitely do one. And if it is, though, what I'll do is I'll say I make money, but I won't get to say what the amounts are. But like, I do have different revenue streams, like affiliate links. Amazon pays a lot, well, the volume of it's good. The commission rate on it's small, but the volume of it's good because Amazon's huge. So that's a good revenue source of, coming in. Patreon's good. YouTube's good. And then I've got the advertisers that leapfrog YouTube and contact me directly. So those are the 4 sources of income that I have. And with that, I mean, it's more than enough to be out here with zero worries, because you got to think, like, you don't have a housing expense, you're getting your energy from the sun, so you don't have any utility expense in that regard. If you have a high volume water purifier, you can stay out here and just purify water, and you basically only have to run to town if you want to get specific items that you run out of, like with food, or if you just run out of food in general. That's the only time you got to roll into town. And so that's why over the years, like, I've been wanting to make everything super micro in here so I can get to hard to reach places, but set up, once I get here, set up the solar, set up the side awning, set up everything else, and be really comfortable and operate with zero, problems. I mean, I look at the big rigs and I get jealous of the comfort, but I'm not jealous of the fact that they can't come back here. And I don't ever want to compromise my ability to get to these places. Like, that's why I would go with like an 05 or 06 Tundra. because it's like a hybrid. It's like in between a Tundra and a Tacoma, in my opinion. It's like right in between there, and they're still pretty maneuverable. Like they're still pretty small considering all the room that you have. So I'm pretty stoked on that. So Captain Bob, yeah, actually Captain Bob, I did a video a long time ago. God, it must have been like 3 years ago, and where I talked about my budget. My budget at that time was $1,200 a month, and that included health insurance and car insurance. So, let's see. For Jessica, COVID, have you found more people? No, there's a ton less people out. The only places that I could find that still have the normal amount of traffic are places that are closest to big population centers. So, like if you get close to Denver, or when I was down in Arizona, if I got close to Phoenix, those areas are there's just a lot of people around. But like out here where I'm at, there's no one around. And when I was over in like the western slope of Colorado, I was over in Silverton and Ouray and Durango, no one around. Like 2 weeks at the same campsite, I didn't see one person, and it's on a busy 4x4 trail that usually has a lot of people. I didn't see one person for 2 weeks, not one. So, oh no, Chris, your Tundra isn't too big. Your Tundra is awesome. I just like the 05 and 06 because they have a 6-inch deeper bed, so the truck bed in it, you can actually do like a decked storage, and you can use 6 inches of that, and it would be like a normal truck bed of storage without that 6. So I like the 05 and 06 for that. And I mean that first gen Tundra, if you look at the body size of it, it's a lot smaller. So it's kind of like the T100 kind of, but like a better engine, I guess. I don't know. T100 had a good engine. It was just small. So, no, Michael, you'll be good with your long bed double cab Tacoma. You'll be fine. I get jealous of long bed Tacomas. I wish I had one. Yeah, if you're living in your truck full time and or working full time and living in your truck, I mean, I did that when I first hit the road. I still have my business, and so I was going back to Denver and coming back out here. That's like backcountry. I was putting in about 50 hours a week, and as long as you have all your systems down, like how you cook and you've got your energy and all that stuff figured out to where you're pretty much self-contained, it's easy. Like it's not hard. And you got to think like out here, and at least for me, there's less distractions. There's not the television and nobody's stopping by to say what's up. There's none of that. There's no TV on, nothing like that. And so it's easier for me to focus because like the agreement that I have with myself is, okay, if you're going to go fly fishing for 4 hours, you have to get your work done first. And so I'll wake up on like the days that I'm going to go fly fish. I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'll get all my work done before the sun comes up. And then the sun will come up and I'll put on my waders and go fly fish. And then I'll be exhausted by like 2 p.m. But that's kind of the agreement that I have with myself. So, all right, let's see. That's awesome. Finally gonna get out there. Cool. Well, Jessica, yeah, if you come on out, just remember, just stay far enough away from like Fort Collins, Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo. Just basically what I say is get over the Continental Divide and like just get into that part of Colorado and you'll be fine. Like everything past the Continental Divide, you're good to go. Anything before the Continental Divide, you're going to run into the Denver crowd. They call it the Front Range crowd. So just go past that and you're in good shape. Yeah, I'd like to do the Patreon chats in the future. I need to learn more about Patreon, man, Kevin. I need to get up with that. So, and I'm also I just signed up for a Vimeo account, so I can do private videos on there, and then I can put them on Patreon and for patrons only. So I'm gonna start doing Vimeo videos for that for Patreon, and then figure out how to do like live streams. What I would like to do is get like a big community room for all of us on Patreon, to where we could all chat, and then it doesn't have to be me reading just the question. Like we could all talk. I don't know if that's available, but I do have Discord up, but it's not, I'm not on it very much. And it's just off-grid backcountry adventures if anybody's on Discord. So, Clara, do I ever get lonely? No, I don't. And I think the reason why is because of this little stinker here. Sierra is so much fun. We're running around all the time. We have a blast. Keeping up with her during the day because she's so energetic. We're usually hiking every day. We usually do like 3 or 4 miles a day minimum. And so that's a good amount of time out on the trail. Then I'll come back here and I usually have like work emails to respond to, or because I'm talking to some different companies now about some new things to do in videos. And then also just the content that I put up, I stay busy with that. And then, with the unlimited data and on my hotspot, I can do like FaceTime video calls and stuff like that with people if I have a good enough connection. And then with my network of friends that are nomads, we meet up at camp too. So it's kind of funny though. Like we'll get together in camp, and then after about 3 or 4 days, we're like, all right, we're sick of being around people. We'll catch you next time, and all of us will go do our own thing. But I don't get lonely out here. My dog Deb. So Sierra is a cattle dog. I'm thinking like red heeler. I don't know for certain, but she's also got a little bit of German Shepherd in her because you can tell from the ears and also the face. But she's definitely a cattle dog body. So I'd like to do a genetics test on her and figure out what it is. So to Sean, I'm not in his city. I'm close to Leadville, but I'm way outside of town. I'm in the national forest right now. To dudes, how did you screw up? Was it they? Oh yeah, dudes, yeah. How I screwed up in the past. I don't know. I mean, I look at it as kind of a blessing that happened because it pushed me out here. But I basically just succumbed to the prescription pills that I was taking because, like, you can't take those things forever. And I was taking Xanax and Klonopin to sleep, and I was being sued by a former employer who's a complete jerk. And he was the most unethical individual on the planet. I was worried about that because he was doing a bunch of shady stuff, trying to pin a bunch of things on me, which I knew weren't true. And he was messed up on coke, which was crazy. And so it's just all that stress got to me, and I basically just buckled. And I don't think, I mean, what it was is I just basically mentally broke down. I mean, I mentally just kind of just like everything, I just stopped. Like everything was paused. I'm like, I'm not moving forward with what I'm doing right now. Like, this isn't for me anymore. And I told my family, I was like, hey, I'm going to leave California because I was living on the beach in California all the time. I was like, I'm going to leave California and I am going to go back to Kansas. And I called my family. I'm like, I had this problem with prescription pills. I need to come back and get sober because I can't do it on my own. I'm trying and it's too hard. And I read this story that like said that like something like only 4% of people that get over benzos, benzodiazepines, only 4% never relapse, and I've never relapsed, which I've been pretty proud about. But also too, it's like I don't like anything to have control over me, and I hated that the corporate world had control over me, and then I really hated the fact that some stupid little pill had control over me, and I was like, fuck that, it'll never happen again. So once I got that stuff out of my system, I just went cold turkey. I had a doctor. She was like, this doctor like pumped me full of all these pills when I went to her, and then come to find out she lost her license years later for like way over prescribing stuff. But it was my fault. I took it, so I'm not blaming her. But when I told her that I was going to get off it, she's like, you can't get off that stuff. And I was like, well, you just said that to the most stubborn person on the planet. And I literally told her, I go, bitch, watch me. And I never took it again. And I sat there and dude, it was like 3 months. I took it I did that stuff for 4 years every day. It was like 3 months of withdrawals. Every day throwing up. Every day I'd wake up, throw up immediately. Barely be able to sleep at night. Lost so much weight, all that stuff. But then I remember the day when I started feeling better. And I was like, because I kept telling myself, I'm like, I wasn't born this way. I gotta feel better eventually. I'll eventually get over this stuff in my body. I'll get it out of my system. And I remember when I started feeling better, and it was great. And then after that, I was like, man, I never really was mindful about what I put in my body because I'd just be like, oh, whatever. I never really had any problems with stuff. And then when that situation hit, I thought, oh, Renee, I need to reach out to you guys. I was planning on messaging you all today for BioVac. I was on Instagram and I saw your message. I was like, oh, because I never checked my messages on there. So I will definitely message you after this. I want to get in touch though. And I'm probably going to be coming to Evergreen because I need to get my tags renewed in Denver after I get my truck repairs done up here. So I'll be rolling through Evergreen and we should meet up. So I'll message you after this, and then I'll message you my email address because that's the best way to stay in touch because I don't really check messages on Instagram or on Facebook. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. But anyway, so back to what I was saying though, is like, when that whole thing happened, I look at it as like a blessing because it's like I was able to pause my life and figure out what I really liked. And what I like to do is I like to come out here and hike. I love to fly fish. I like living a simple life. I don't care about material stuff at all. And I think that, when I was in the corporate world, I got wrapped up in that thinking that would get me happiness. I would work, and then I would buy that new greatest thing. And you'd have like that fleeting moment of satisfaction. And then like 30 minutes later, it was gone. But then I would realize when I come out camping and fishing, the moments that I'd have out here that were awesome, that would feed my soul, those would last for days. Those memories last for days. And I was like, why don't I just go immerse myself in that all the time? And so being out here it's been the best thing that's happened to me. And I'm thankful that, that the corporate world wasn't a good fit for me, because if it was, I'd still be there. And I'm not faulting anybody for doing that. I'm just saying for me, it wasn't the right fit. So, this is the right fit for me. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have friends that ask me like, when are you going to get in a house? I'm like, don't think it's going to happen. Got too much fun out here. I've got all these great campsites to hit up. And I've got a good rotation now of like, being on the road for 5 years, like rolling through California and then coming through Arizona and then working out at Bears Ears as an ambassador for the monument for those couple months, like, and getting to know that area. I mean, there's so much in the American Southwest that I've experienced so far. And like I was saying, I've literally just scratched the surface. And now I want to go up to the Pacific Northwest and go experience that. And I've never been there. So the way I look at it is like this lifestyle keeps you on your toes, and it's so exciting because there's so much to see, and then like I was saying before, you meet these other nomads and they're like, hey, have you been to this spot? And you're like, no, I got to go check that out. And so it's just, I think what it is this lifestyle, it restored my faith, not only in humanity, but also kind of in myself, because I lost it. Because I was just lost in the corporate world. I didn't believe in what I was doing. I'm one of those people, like, if I don't believe in what I'm doing, I can't do it. I can't fake it. And so I faked it for like 17 years. And I think I finally just got tired of faking it. And I'm glad that happened, because this is awesome out here. I'm going to bed at night listening to the river next to me, and there's brook trout swimming, jumping up, and, get to fish in the morning. And I wake up when the birds are, chirping, and Sierra's running around playing with sticks in the morning. I mean, there's no better life. Like, ever since I hit the road, it's like days became fun again. It's like, when you're a kid and you talk about how like when you're a kid, the days were long, you play with your friends and stuff like that all day long. And then you get in the corporate world and it seems like days were kind of boring. And for me, they were all gray, like they all kind of ran into one another. Then back out here, once I started living this way, the days got long again. It's like you're in the now. You're not thinking about, oh yeah, next week I got that one meeting, and then in 2 months from now I got to go to Atlanta for that business meeting, and then after that I got to go to this conference. There's none of that. Like, all it is out here is like, okay, what are we going to do today? And like 9 times out of 10, it's hiking with Sierra, because she gets out of the truck and just runs around like crazy. So it's fun. So let's let me get caught up on stuff here. The people in Denver and Fort Collins area, I think what it is that, a lot of people that moved there initially a long time ago. I moved there in '98. It was easy to get around, and it was weird. You drive between Denver and Boulder, and there was like 10 miles of cow pasture land. There was nothing out there. And I remember when they put in this area, this big golf course and resort called Interlaken, I'm like, no one's ever going to drive out there. That's way too far from town. And now it's like one big city from Denver to Boulder. But that's actually true now from like, I don't want to say like north of Fort Collins, almost to the Wyoming border, all the way to Pueblo now. It's like one huge megaplex. And I think, unfortunately, just when you have that many people in one area, it just tends to be stressful, and it's kind of like a pressure cooker environment. And then when people go camping out there, sometimes a lot of the people that move to the Front Range, they'll want to go experience it, but they won't know how to properly recreate when they're in the backcountry. And so you have a tendency to see some trash and stuff like that when you're out camping. So that's why I like getting further away from any population center, just in general, just because like I like things when they're really rugged and hardly used. There were some trails that I went on in the Silverton area, and they didn't even have any tracks on them yet from the season, because like the snow had just melted out there. I'm like, I'm the first person on these trails. This is awesome. And so I seek out those areas that just have less people, just because I like there's more wildlife. Typically, if you fish, the fish are much bigger. You tend to feel like you have the area to yourself, as opposed to just being, at a lake with 20 other people you don't know. And so I that's why I had this small truck and don't have a big camper, is I want to be able to get to those hard to reach places. So, filters. Let's see, I'm there. Let's see what else. Hello from Northeast Utah, Dinosaur Land. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Deep Creek Smoke. I've not been up to that area in Northeast Utah. Is that like Vernal area? Or Vernal? I've got a friend that goes up there a bunch she lives over in Salt Lake, and so she goes over into that area to go look at all the really cool rock art. She said there's a ton of it over there. And so she sent me some information a while back, but I haven't been up there yet, but I want to go check it out. I've heard it's awesome. And Utah's got so much terrain. I mean, the diversity of terrain in Utah, it's amazing. California Golden Bear, thank you. It's the first time I've shaved in 10 years, so it feels weird. The thing is like at night, I'm so used to sleeping with all the windows open and stuff, but it's getting down to about freezing up here. And so last night it was like 2 a.m. and I woke up and I'm like, what is that? I kind of like freaked out. And what it was wind moving across my face. I haven't had that sensation in a decade. And so I'll have to get used to that. I may have to like sleep with the covers up over my face tonight because we're supposed to get down to 28 tonight. And so we may get snow here if it keeps raining. So, okay, Vernal. Yeah, I've heard that's a really cool area up there. So, yeah, the I-25 corridor, that and I-70, I found that anything that you can access off of I-25 or immediately off of I-70, either north or south, there's just a lot of people. But that's just par for the course. Heck, I go back to Kansas where I'm from, and there's a lot of people. That the locals say they're like, "Oh, we got a lot of people around here." I'm thinking it's not like Colorado. So, the ND filters for the menu. Cool, Kevin. I'll do that. I'll look into the filters for that. To Jackson McKillop, let's see. I'm about to buy a camper shell. Yeah, I like the ARE. The only thing is these brand new. If you buy it brand new, they're expensive. So if you can find a camper shell that is like on Craigslist or something like that, that'd be better. Because like this camper shell, I could have saved probably $1,700 if I would have bought it used. It's like the biggest racket on the planet. I think the people that own camper shell topper companies make a killing because the profit margin's got to be 10 million%. So just a heads up. But yeah, the ARE is good though. It's built well. I mean, this thing, I've put it through the ringer over the past 5 years. Four-wheeled this thing like crazy with tons of weight on the top, especially when I was doing all the trail work for the Forest Service. This camper or this topper has shown zero wear and tear. So it's solid. There's no leaks, no cracks, no nothing in the fiberglass. It's worked really well. And I got it to where it had the bed rug feature also on the top part here, and so it's nice and insulated, and also it helps with condensation. So if you're going to do the topper camping, definitely at least if you can't get the option to where they have the bed rug feature installed on it, then what you can do is you can do 3M spray adhesive and put your own felt on here. So I'd recommend that for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sierra's right here. She's chilling. What are you doing, sweetie? Everybody wants to see you. Come here. Let me get you. Come here. Let me see you. Come here. Oh, there we go. Oh, little baby girl. She's sleeping. She's tired. We've been out kind of running around all day. So those are oh, cool. Yeah, Captain Bob. I want to go down to northern Arkansas and check all this stuff. I've been to southern Missouri a bunch, and when we were growing up as kids, we used to go to the Ozarks all the time and go camping down there. But I've heard the northern part of Arkansas is insane. Let's see, what else have we got here? Well, it's getting to be about 8 o'clock, and I have not had dinner yet. Let's see. What does this look like outside? So this is how dark it is out now. It's getting to be pretty dark out, but I think we'll go for like another 15 minutes here, and then I'll probably log off for the night. And then I'm waiting to hear back with some friends. We're probably going to go. I was going to go fly fishing with my buddy Rick, the guy who owns Watershed Ranch. I don't know if y'all remember that video that I did in January, or the videos I did when I was out there at his ranch, that historic ranch. We're going to go fly fish a lake above his ranch. It's really incredible. But I'm waiting to hear back and see if some people are going to come hang with me at camp here. So, but other than that, let's see, the next week coming up, I'm going to stay at this campsite for another week and chill here. I got to get a bunch of work done, and then I got to send out some proposals to some possibly new companies. I'm going for, like, if y'all tuned into the last live stream, I was talking about how I wanted to monetize the channel and how I waited so long to work with any of the clients. The reason for that was my mindset was if I wait until I get the big clients, the big national brands like Harry's, Nomadic, all those ones, then I can take that and leapfrog that into bigger and bigger and bigger brands. And I eventually want to get up to Toyota. That's my ultimate goal, is to like work with them and work directly with Toyota in North America. So, but I waited this long to work with those companies and accept invitation work, because I've been hit up since day one. You get these small companies that will hit you up and stuff. Oh, I gotta pull this in. But I didn't want to work with any small companies. I wanted to work with just the big brands. And so now that those are coming into play, I'm hitting up like the next tier. And so I write up these proposals, and I put up all my information, all that stuff, and explain why it'd be great to work with me. And hopefully they'll hit, and if so, we'll have some more stuff that I can include. But I did. I should be getting that new fridge from Nomadic here probably in a couple weeks. I got to reach out to them again. They were having a bunch of stuff going on with shipping problems with COVID a couple weeks ago, and so they're like, "Hey, hit me up in a couple weeks, and then we can get that one sent to you." So I'm gonna have a new one that I'll be doing there, and then I'll probably be doing some stuff in conjunction with Nomadic. I've talked to them about that, and then Max Oak, the battery company, working with them a bunch, and then like I said, reaching out to the next tier of companies. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see, TFC Cooks. What's Sarah's doing bed yoga? She always does bed yoga, man. She cracks me up. This girl, I'll wake up in the morning and she'll be in the most like crazy position. I'm like, how does she contort her body like that? It's just wild. So yeah, Sierra's right down here next to me. She's been sleeping a bunch. We were running around all day, and like I was saying earlier, she was running up and down the creek in the creek bed, running up and down all day when I was purifying water and running around out there. It just started raining a couple like 2 hours ago. Up until then, it was sunny here. So, how's the dating? It's non-existent right now. Not much is going on. Usually I use like Tinder or Bumble, to meet gals when I'm rolling through an area. And I'm honest on there. I say on my profile, I'm like, hey, I can only casually date. I roll from one area to the next. If that's cool, then we can get together. If not, that's no big deal. But I just want to be upfront about that. I don't want to lead anybody on. But it works well, but during COVID, a lot of things have shut down, and obviously, not many people are meeting up. So I've just been using this time just for chilling. There's been no dates. Let's see. Sierra's on the white cover. I dare. I mean, I mean, I've met some girls that full time out here in like trucks and they're by themselves and stuff. I'm like, God, those girls are so awesome. It's the most attractive thing in the planet to me. So, also too, like, going to the hot springs is good because there's usually girls there. So, but it's living this way though. You get to decide if you want to date or not. And the hard thing is like dating girls that are in like sticks and brick house that don't really understand that, like, hey, I might not ever come back here again, because like I'm a rolling stone. I go from one place to the next. So I just have to be really clear about that, when I meet up with a girl, because I don't want to be dishonest about that stuff. Let's see. Anything else for me and Sierra before we log off? Because I think we're going to go ahead and call it good here. I think what I will do is I'm going to do one video about cooking those brook trout, like frying them up like I was talking about, and the cornmeal and everything, the brook trout. And then if that goes well, then we'll do a live stream next week of doing that brook trout. We can either do a live stream of like fishing together, or we can do a live stream of cooking up fish. So we'll do one of the two, but I'll work on that video. I'm going to fish tomorrow morning and see if I can't get some brook trout and get that video going. So we'll get that posted up and go from there. And then, yeah, we'll just keep trucking. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And sorry that the live stream, that first link that when I was starting out, it didn't work out. So, like I was saying, YouTube does this thing. If the dash or the webcam disconnects, then you got to restart the stream. So, but thanks for tuning in. And Ray, thank you. Let's see, anything else I want to. Awesome. Have yourself great. What is your name? Oh, my name's Brian, for those who don't know. Let's see. Any power loss on the Toyota high elevation? Not really. It's pretty good up here. But of course I had it, when I had it tuned up, I had it tuned up for the mountains. So it's ready to go here. Let's see what else. Awesome. Let's see. Any other things? All right, cool. We're good to go. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.